Here we have listed 5 outstanding Indian achievers that have transcended the limits of their fields and have set new standards to look forward to. Number 5. Pandit Ravi Shankar.
This incredible meditative state, where they would just close their eyes and cry and just...
For New Age music. Ravi Shankar was a sitar player, virtuoso and composer. He played all around the world and helped to popularize Indian classical music in the West. In West, his remarkable accompanying with George Harrison and significant influence on Beatles and rock movement had been most notable.
Nothing very striking, but I believe it was such a rage at that time, the new sound and new approach in a song of his. Anyway, he expressed his desire to learn.
Which had played a pivotal role in forwarding the rock movement, had developed in Pandit Ravi Shankar's tours around the world, carrying forward a new wave of music. Number 4. Sachin Tendulkar for cricket. Sachin Tendulkar is arguably the greatest batsman in the game of cricket. He is the only man to have scored 100 centuries in international cricket, including 30,000 plus runs.
No man has ever done more with a simple cricket bat.
Apart from that, he serves as perhaps the most admirable sports personality of his time.
He led his life very simple, never got carried away with the adulation he gets in India and overseas. And I've seen the best part of Sachin Tendulkar.
Oh, this is high! What a six! What a six!
Number 3. Freddie Mercury for rock music.
And understand on the days that a lot of people are changing the keys to these songs because they just can't do a Freddie.
Somebody love
Indian origin vocalist and songwriter. Mercury authored and composed various internationally acclaimed songs for Queen. He's among the most influential and significant figures in history of postmodern music.
He's the governor, he's the best pop type oriented guitar player there is, really.
Sweet guy who is the nicest man in the world.
Everybody loves to play his licks,
Like they should be playing mine,
Number 2. Amartya Sen for socioeconomics.
The main person who studied, the economist who studied famines and social policy and their effects is Amartya Sen, won the Nobel Prize for this work, a very important work.
Economist Amartya Sen has worked on social choice theory and contributed to the development of modern economics. He has received over 90 honorary degrees from around the world and was awarded the Nobel Prize for Economics in 1988.
It compares mortality rates in India and China since independence.
People thought themselves as being subcontinental, Indian, Bengalis, and suddenly just to think of themselves nothing other than Hindus and Muslims, that came like a storm from nowhere. And then it disappeared. By 2 or 3 years after partition, there was a lesson for me about the evil of single identity and even why communitarian thinking is deeply flawed, but also a general sense that economic deprivation and social deprivation are closely linked.
Number 1. Sir Salman Rushdie.
I believe in free speech, but people should behave themselves. I believe in free speech, but we shouldn't upset anybody. I believe in free speech, but let's not go too far. The point about it is the moment you limit free speech, it's not free speech.
These are the important questions, because any attempt to narrow that frame is not just, is censorship. Yes, that's the word usually used about it, but it seems to me that it's something more than censorship. It's a kind of existential crime. It's an attack on human nature itself, because it is in our nature to tell those stories as we choose.
For his book Satanic Verses, he had received a bounty fatwa from Ayatollah Khomeini.
Any form of illiberal entity sees writers as the enemy.
But I must add that if Salman Rushdie had wished to be blasphemous, and wish to challenge the tenets of your faith, that would also be his right.
Character is his fate. Character is destiny. The kind of human being you are determines the kind of life you will live.
From then, he has stood firm as a lighthouse of literature, advocating uncompromised freedom of speech, uncensored criticism, and undaunted liberty.
In world history.
In world history.